Great Sunday morning. It's week 4 coming into the NFL. Rudy Campos, Trey Collis, and Coach Gio here. Will Haverland should be joining us here in just a little bit. We're here with the Fantasy Countdown brought to you by United Collision Care Center. Go visit the boys over there, Luis Cabrera and the staff, all certified technicians. They'll be able to get you back on the road in no time if you've been in an accident. Be sure you contact United Collision Care Center so they can take care of you, your car, get you back on the road as quickly as possible. Also, we're powered by Project Spurs. Project Spurs, the best source for Spurs talk right now. I mean, you got Spurs season coming up, so definitely want to go and follow Project Spurs across all social media. Hit up projectspurs.com. Get all your Spurs need. DraftKings, use that promo code TBPN. Go to your DraftKings account or set up your DraftKings account. Use that code TBPN. So you can start having all the fun in the fantasy world with your DraftKings lineups and Buster.com, www.buster.com/sweep the league. Use that link. Sign up today. Get your bet on. Definitely want to get your bet on. As I said, the Fantasy Countdown where we make fantasy wins a reality, and I've actually bounced back a whole lot lately. So my fantasy world is definitely getting better. So now we're joined by Will Haverland. Okay, guys, we're just going to jump right into it. We actually did see a game already, Jacksonville, Cincinnati. That game we thought was going to probably, be a slaughter by Cincinnati. Didn't turn out that way. Jacksonville jumped out to an early halftime lead at that. But we did see the return of James Robinson again in that game. Joe Burrow had some pretty nice numbers. Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase putting up some good numbers. Mixon had a touchdown as well. So we're going to get right into this, guys. Again, this is the Fantasy Countdown. Let's see here. Real quick, follow us on Twitter. Sorry, I had music in the background. Mine is at Suit the League. Gio is at Coach Gio double O at the end. Trey is at Trey 3025. Austin Hartsfield will join us after the baseball season. Hartsfield MLB. And Will, who's brand new to Twitter world, Will Nation 7. Guys, jump right into it, man. Falcons and Washington football team. We're gonna go to a few guys around the horn here. Value for these teams here. I think Antonio Gibson was still questionable last time I checked. I need to make sure he still is. Do we see him not playing today? I think he's still gonna probably suit up. I hope he does because I have him in a couple of leagues. But for those guys that are worrying about Antonio Gibson, injury-wise, I mean, do you think he's still going to play? And if he does play, I'm assuming he's probably going to have a pretty decent game against a very, very lonely and sorry Falcons teams. We'll hit up Trey on this one. Washington Falcons, what fantasy value you got in this game, Trey?
I got I got McLaurin. I think he's going to be a very good fantasy-wise. I got him on my DraftKings today lineup. I think he's going to sorry, like you said, sorry, Falcons defense. I don't know what's going on in there, but Gibson plays. I think you play Gibson. If I'm Gibson, I want to play because I think that whatever their stupid team is named, Washington football team now, they should win even without Gibson. I would play Heineke today for cheap on DraftKings. If you can get him for cheap, I would play him as well. For Atlanta Falcons, of course, they're going to play Ridley. I want to play Matty Ice. I think Pitts is going to have a good day. I think those are going to be your best value picks for today.
So, Gio, as far as Washington and Atlanta goes, do we see any kind of maybe emergence a little bit of any of the Falcons running backs? Because of Mike Davis, this should be a pretty good game for Mike Davis. But I think the better play is going to be Cordell Patterson when it comes to the Falcons if you're going to use a running back.
Yeah, the Falcons right now is a little bit of a mess when it comes to the running back situation. Cordell Patterson, he's played well the past few weeks. Mike Davis, I mean, it seems to me that he's going to be eating into his carries. So as a Mike Davis owner, you're probably a little bit worried at this point. Not sure because the Falcons really have nothing to lose, right? They're 1-2 right now. And if they can get this win next week, they'll be 2-2, even though we've all been making fun of them. But for Mike Davis, I mean, you're obviously kind of throw him out there, but just keep in mind, Cordell Patterson's kind of been a thorn in the side of Mike Davis for this week. But for the Falcons and this Washington football team, this is a tough game, I think, for me to even pick just because what team are we going to see? Are we going to see the team that beat the Giants last week, still offensively pedestrian, Are we going to see the Washington football defense of last season? Are we going to see that? Are we going to see that defense the past few weeks that's just been ridiculous, not being able to stop anybody? So this is a toss-up game. I said last week, don't give me the Falcons. But I'm going to try one last time here. I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons. If this is a shootout, they really should win this game. They have more, I think, talent on offense, just in general. Now, Samuels does come back for the Washington football team, so I guess it could be equal footing. But give me the Falcons today, and go Georgia Bulldogs.
I was waiting. I was trying to figure out
what the end of the show to talk.
Listen, this team,
Bulldogs.
I'm not trying to drink some, but they're starting to look a little special out there.
Oh, this Georgia Bulldog team. I'm sorry, we're changing, but real quick, they're the best team in SEC and in football altogether. Their defense, their backup quarter, their running game, it's starting to click. Watch out, Georgia's the best team. This defense only allowed one touchdown. I'm sorry, it's the best team in football.
All right, so you heard it from Trey Collis himself. Best team in football. So are we talking? I guess Georgia Bulldogs. Since both of you guys feel they're the best team in football, and I don't. Since y'all think it's that good for them, can they beat some of these lonely NFL teams?
I mean, listen, I'm never going to disrespect an NFL team.
Me neither, but that defense, man,
The defense is really good. Could they make a few stops? Sure, but are they going to beat the Patriots? I saw, I forgot the running back's name on our team who says we could stop the Patriots in the red zone. I highly doubt that. These guys in the NFL, they get paid. I guess college football guys are going to start getting paid too. But anyway.
I would disagree with you on that. Jacksonville, I think they can put up a good fight on them. I mean,
here we go. They'd be 3-0 against Denver's opponents for the first 3 weeks. Just put it at that, right?
I mean, listen, they have NFL talent, obviously. I mean, on that defense, but
the reason I say Jacksonville is because they're younger. Like they're basically all came just from college, a couple of years removed and stuff. That's what I'm saying. They're kind of at the even level right there. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is younger than some of your Georgia defensive players.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be a fun watch for Jacksonville and Georgia. Let's do that a Thursday night game, Jacksonville and Georgia.
Jesus Christ, y'all guys are here now. All right, so as these fools and knuckleheads think that it is
I never said. Now, I do think they could beat Alabama. I'm just saying, Alabama. That's going to be a good SEC championship game because it's looking like Florida is starting to get the wheels off of that truck, and Georgia's already 2 games up on Florida in the East. But I guess time will tell. We'll wait. We still got to play Auburn. We still got to play Florida and probably Missouri. I don't know who just. Didn't they just get shellacked last night?
Yes, against Tennessee.
We still got to play Tennessee too. So.
All right, forget this. We're getting way off topic here. People want to know about their lineups. They don't want to know about how bad good the SEC is. 2-team race now. Moving right along, man. Texans and Bills. Pretty much, it's all hands on deck. Everybody a go for the Buffalo Bills. Brandon Cooks is a guy here that in a couple of weeks we probably said he probably didn't have very much fantasy value, but he actually did. He does, and he did in those games as well. We're starting off with Will on this one. As far as the Texans go, probably your safe bet and only bet would be Brandon Cooks. Do we see over or under 50 yards and a touchdown from Cooks today?
Oh, you're going to be over. Easy. I mean, he's the only basic deep threat, any passing threat they have. I mean, he's got 23 receptions already, 300 yards. I mean, he's putting up numbers. I mean, he's putting up his numbers he puts up every year quietly. Doesn't matter what team he's on. He quietly puts up numbers. It looks like they're looking his way all the time. I mean, if he's got 23 receptions, how many targets he's got? Close to 40? I mean,
yeah. This
is your quiet guy you're going to play every week. Probably not projected very high, may not be worth a whole lot of money in daily fantasy, but you can get him and he's going to give you good numbers. He's their only person that's scoring touchdowns, which is probably, he's only got 1 on the year, but he's going to get you the yards. He's going to get you, I think he gets a touchdown this week against Buffalo. Just depends who's on him. I mean, Buffalo defense looks like they've been coming back from where they were supposed to start the season. I think this might be Stephon Diggs' game this week. He might get his wheels back going. And then I think it's going to be a Zach Moss show.
I think so. I think the better play is going to be Zach Moss between the running backs. I mean, Singletary is actually ranked a little bit higher than Moss, but that's because he didn't get Zach Moss week 1 and I believe week 2 as well. But I mean, Zach Moss is probably going to be the absolute number 1 play when it comes to running backs on the Buffalo Bills today. I think Josh Allen is actually going to be a really, really good play. If you've got him on your team, you're going to start him with absolute confidence like you do week in and week out. But the other part is, I think you're right. I mean, Diggs is probably going to have a big day. I even think daily fantasy play, you're probably going to be able to get Cole Beasley pretty cheap today. So Cole Beasley is probably another player you want to kind of look at and see maybe if you can get him relatively cheap, which I'll look him up here in a minute. He'd be a pretty solid play as well. Dawson Knox also may be a good play against the Houston Texans. Pretty much just all go, I think, for every single Buffalo Bills player in this game. Moving right along, Lions and Bears. Oh, my. Okay, so Jared Goff. Gio knows all about Jared Goff, obviously. The struggles were there somewhat, but he's still putting up some relatively numbers. The best play this week, I think, is DeAndre Swift when it comes to the Detroit Lions. Outside of that, I mean, I can see Jared Goff actually having a decent day on the Bears this week. I see this kind of not being so much of a shootout, but I see some really good fantasy value in this as well. David Montgomery should have a decent game today. My thing is Allen Robinson, Gio. Does Allen Robinson make a statement today against the Lions? Because obviously we're seeing Justin Fields is going to get the nod today, and the guy couldn't do crap in his first start. But this is not exactly the Cleveland Browns that he's playing against. This is the Detroit Lions. Can Justin Fields have a decent day today? But most importantly, can Allen Robinson finally just get going?
I think so. I think last week was a tough matchup against the Browns, and it was Justin Fields' first start. Matt Nagy looked incompetent in some of these things that was going on. Even Bill Lazor, I believe the offensive coordinator, was talking about some of the game plan issues. So I think this is the week. This is a game against the Lions defense that's depleted. I mean, Okuda's out for the year. Lions do have a really good pass rush. Waiting to see how that works out. But they're at home. They're in Chicago. The wind's blowing today. And I expect the Bears to win this football game. I think they're the better team. I mean, the Bears just beat the Bengals 2 weeks ago. And the Bengals are what? 3-1 right now, or 2-1 or whatever. So, I mean, they got the opportunity here to really set this straight. For the Lions, I mean, listen, Goff's played well in certain stages this season, but they're going to have to run the football today and really stretch this game, because I think the Bears defense, I feel like they're going to be coming out today gunslinging. And if Jared Goff isn't ready, this could be a tough game here in Chicago. But give me the Bears today. You're not starting Justin Fields, though. You want to see and also Montgomery going to start. And Allen Robinson, I mean, listen, you're going to start him out there. I think a little bit more confidence today. And for the Lions, I mean, you can start any of those receivers kind of, and maybe not in season long, but in kind of DFS today. But give me the Bears, the hometown, or it's not necessarily my hometown, but it's the hometown.
Well, it's your new hometown. So
it's a new hometown team here.
New hometown team here. Moving right along. Hey, this is the Fantasy Countdown. We make all your fantasy wins a reality. We're sponsored by United Collision Care Center. Go visit Luis and the boys out there. They'll take care of everything you need, get you back on the road in no time. Powered by Project Spurs, DraftKings, and Buster.com. Go get that account started on Buster.com, www.buster.com/sweep the league. Get your account started today. Also, don't forget the promo code on DraftKings TBPN. Use that promo code to get your daily fantasy lineups all in play today. Colts and Dolphins, Trey. You being a massive second Colts fan, because first is the Cowboys fan, but you love the Colts this year. Michael Pittman Jr. I am stuck on this guy because I have massively good receivers on all the teams that I have Pittman on. But against the Dolphins, I so want to play him and take him over a DK Metcalf, a Justin Jefferson. I'm debating on it. With Michael Pittman Jr., what's the play for him you feel today against Miami?
Rudy, I'm right there with you. I love Pittman Jr., but you don't know this Miami defense is scaring me a little bit. I wouldn't play him over Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, I think, is going to have a solid game, but we'll get in that game a little bit later. I would play him over DK Metcalf if you have that option right now. I think the 49ers are going to not force their way, but like double team Metcalf. I think they're not going to make Metcalf beat him. Tyler Lockett's probably going to help you over there on that one. I would play Pittman Jr. over DK Metcalf if I was you, Rudy. Now,
What?
I would today. I would today, just today only. Today I would. I don't know why. I just have a gut feeling. That's the way I feel, and I'm allowed to have my opinion. All right, Gio. Okay.
Go ahead, Trey. Go ahead.
You go over there and rub your eyes because you just woke up. But I've been studying since 7 a.m. this morning.
It's a long day or a long night because the Mariners won last night, so I was up late.
I know me and you're going to hate each other all day today. So anyway, going back to this game. Other players, of course, you're going to play I think Jonathan Taylor. I want to play Wentz. That's pretty much all I would play the Colts defense today as well if you have a chance, because I don't think that any quarterback for the Miami Dolphins is going to do anything worthwhile in the running game, receivers. That's going to be affected by the quarterback play. So I would play the Colts defense, and that's my fantasy take on this game. But I would play Pittman. That's just a gut feeling I have. I don't know why. I just have that feeling.
Yeah.
You also said Arkansas was going to cover, but
I said Arkansas would cover. I don't think – did Trey say that as well?
I said Arkansas would cover. I thought they were going to get beat. I thought they were going to cover by like 13 points, but they got –
I'm just kidding, guys. It's Sunday.
I know you are, but I'm still mad about that. Whatever.
Who cares about yesterday's games? Who cares about them? Jesus Christ. So we got Tony Ornalis in here. It says, put Pittman as your flex, but never take off DK Metcalf out of your lineup. I do. And see, that's my problem, is that people are so down on DK that it makes you wonder, do you sit, DK Metcalf, put Pittman in? Well, I mean, if you have him as a flex, which I have the option of having Pittman as a flex in some of these leagues, where I still have like Metcalf, Jefferson, and Cooper Kupp on one of my teams that I have Michael Pittman.
Ooh.
I mean, it's like that's the kind of stuff that and my running backs are crap in that league. So when I've got 4 receivers in one flex spot, that's where I kind of question, all right, the matchups. Now, I believe DK Metcalf is going to have a huge game today, especially against 49ers. I mean, I really do. But then you look at a guy, like Justin Jefferson. I mean, you can't really bench him so much. I mean, the numbers that he puts up. But then you go down like, okay, Cooper Kupp's been on a tear lately. So where does Pittman fit in this lineup? That's the crazy part for me. I even tried trading, Cooper Kupp to another team to get some value at running back and no go. It's kind of tough for me, especially when it comes to this Colts team. I think Jonathan Taylor is going to have a really good showing today. I think Taylor will be fine today. Naheem Hines is another player
is
that
Nelson
I feel
out this week?
Who's that?
The guard, Nelson. I heard one of their offensive linemen.
Yeah, he is out this week, but I still think against the Dolphins, I still think he's going to have some really good value there. But, on the Dolphins sideline, I wanted to get with Will on this. Will, as far as the Miami Dolphins go, Myles Gaskin, that's a guy that I'm having to play in a couple of leagues. Is Myles Gaskin going to bust out this week and have a decent game against the Colts? Because that defense for the Colts is not exactly what we expected him to be.
As far as Myles Gaskin, I don't know. I play him in my one league. I've given up. He's a flex. I get a couple flexes, and my team's got some solid players, but where I drafted, I picked him in the mid to late rounds. I got him, a couple other players. I don't know what's going on in Miami. They are thought to be a pretty big team this year, and they're just kind of coming out flat. I mean, Tua's gotten hurt. I mean, Waddle seems to be what they expected him to be. I mean, your best fantasy. I mean, I think you're going to play Gasecki. That's going to be your best bet from the Miami team, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Maybe so. I mean, Waddle's going to be a
Gaskin's-
definite play. I think Waddle's a player.
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett, I mean,
He's not bad. It's just
it's not a bad play. I think
It's a revenge
No.
game.
Well, I think in daily fantasy, Jacoby Brissett could be decent because you can surround the team. I mean, especially in daily fantasy on DraftKings, you're only getting 4 points on the touchdown passes. You're not getting a whole lot of points. So, I mean, Jacoby Brissett, he's going to probably at the goal line, I think he's going to vulture maybe a couple of runs at the goal line. So, I mean, you're going to
sure.
get you're going to get the goal line work when it comes to Jacoby Brissett. So you're going to get a touchdown probably right there, maybe a couple of passing touchdowns. I think Jacoby Brissett is probably a decent play if you're going to use him in daily fantasy. I believe everything else. I mean, like I said, Waddle should be a good play. I think Myles Gaskin was the biggest question mark. Speaking of question marks, I mean, you're moving on here. Browns and Vikings. The question mark I've got is the Browns. I mean, outside of Nick Chubb, can we really trust anybody in this Browns team when it comes to fantasy, even daily fantasy? It's so tough. I mean, the Vikings are another team. I mean, we don't have any idea. We're not going to know probably for another hour or so, truly, if Dalvin Cook's going to actually be active for this game. So you got a lot of worried Dalvin Cook owners out there. Right now, he's expected to start. Yeah, Trey's definitely one of them. I have Dalvin Cook in 3 leagues. So he's definitely – it's worth monitoring that. But I want to go to Gio on this one. Gio, for the Browns, I mean, outside of Nick Chubb, I mean, it's tough to play any of the guys. Even with OBJ coming back, it's tough to play even Baker Mayfield. I mean, I wouldn't even trust him right now if OBJ and Jarvis were healthy, like together. It's hard for me to trust Baker.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Chubb, I felt like last week it was a Kareem Hunt day. I think Kareem had a touchdown last week. I think there are some scenarios where you do potentially have to start Kareem Hunt. I think he's a good play this week. The Vikings defense is really – there's not much going on. They give up yardage. But I think this has a sneaky shootout appeal to it. I honestly think that this week Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and maybe one of their receivers could get going this week as the Vikings have – I mean, the past few weeks, the Vikings have been just in shootouts, right? I know the Seahawks didn't put up enough points, but a lot of yards is going on here. And for the Vikings, Justin Jefferson, Adam, I got a feeling, and Cook. Now, if Madison plays, I guess you're obviously going to potentially start Madison, but this is the thing with Cook and McCaffrey, man. They always, the past few years, seem to be missing time lately, and hopefully that doesn't add up. But I think this is going to be a shootout. Book it. Get some of those guys in your lineups this week because I think the Browns may just run the ball so much that it just opens up for other things. And next thing you know, it's like 30-30 fourth quarter. So,
yeah. I mean, this is the Vikings game here as well. I mean, you're talking, Thielen, Jefferson, Cousins. I think Cousins has a pretty decent day today. I really do. I think we're going to see an overall, and I want to say balanced offense by the Vikings. Because if Cook plays, I mean, he's going to get his touches. I think Madison still has a really good day. If you need that, second flex option, you can probably start Madison as well. Both, I think Thielen and Jefferson are going to have some decent days. I think Kirk Cousins is going to have a good day as well.
Also, the third receiver, Rudy,
KJ Osborne.
He had a little bit of a down week, but I could see him stretching the field this week. Though the Browns secondary is pretty good. They got a lot of names back there, so it should be an interesting week. But KJ could be a sneaky play in fantasy this week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm liking this game. I'm liking this game as far as fantasy value goes. I think daily fantasy is going to be able to really good here. But as far as like this, if the Browns go, man, it's just the Browns. I don't trust anybody outside of Nick Chubb, even Kareem Hunt. I don't really trust Kareem Hunt at all. And I hate to do this to Will, but Giants and Saints, Will, you're getting one of the best games of the week here. Giants and Saints. Daniel Jones, I mean, he's still a QB, 5 right now overall? I mean,
Rudy, give it up.
No. I'm not saying he's, I'm not on the Daniel Jones train. I'm talking fantasy-wise. Daniel Jones is still QB 5 or 6 fantasy-wise. So going up against the Saints defense, which I think the Saints defense is going to ball out today. I expect the Saints defense to have a pretty damn good day.
Can we see a pick 6?
Yeah, I think I see a pick 6
Winston
today by
or
the Saints.
Jones?
That's true, though.
Wow. Can we go double? One on each side? I mean,
possibly
I can see one on each side. Definitely. One question mark, because a lot of teams drafted Saquon Barkley in the first round. I mean, a lot of people drafted him in the first round fantasy wise. I had to end up keeping him in 2 of my keeper leagues, and I actually traded him off in one of them for Aaron Jones, and I think it was Cooper Kupp at the beginning of the year. So
wait,
kudos to me on that one.
You got that for him?
Well, I also gave up a first-round pick for a draft. So, I mean.
Okay, all right. Well,
this was before the league. This was before the season started in one of my keeper leagues.
Well, not bad.
Yeah, but Saquon Barkley, man. Saquon is not putting up Saquon numbers, but he has looked better as the season gone on. Can we expect anything from Saquon today to make us feel like he's like the Longhorns, that he's back? Sorry, Trey.
Wow. Every time someone says that, something bad happens.
Longhorns are not back.
All right. Anyways, I mean, as far as Saquon, I mean, I have him. I'm struggling with him. Someone's trying to trade me, take him away from me, so I countered for a little better option for myself. Just reading all the stats and doing everything, trying to figure out what I want to do with this guy. So he averaged 22 touches, 2 years ago before he blew out his knee, and he got 22 touches last week. I mean, I get it. I guess their main guy in New York. They want to surround everything around him. So they've been slowly working him more and more. So I think this week you're going to actually see him. I don't want to say a bell cow, but they're going to make sure he gets his touches. He's going to get 20-plus touches this week. Saints are kind of not what they normally are on offense, so their defense is holding them down. I think Saquon will get a touchdown. I think he'll have a decent. I mean, he may not put up any astounding numbers, but I think he'll get his touches. He'll have a decent game. I think they're going to try to work him into the passing game a little bit more. But as far as Daniel Jones goes, I mean, he's leading this team in rushing. Come on, that's why he's top 5 QB. I mean,
yeah,
Rudy.
I mean,
respect, right?
I mean, he's doing all right over there, but Rudy's whole notion was in that draft that he was a franchise quarterback.
So soon,
this is a struggling franchise. They need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, let me get in next year's draft, which that next year's draft's going to suck. But y'all forgetting one big thing. I would take the Saints D today. Poor Giants. This is the Saints' first true home game this year after that hurricane. You tell me that the crowd's not going to be rocking and rolling and that defense is going to be fired up. I'm with you. I think they're going to get a pick 6. I'll play the Saints D today. Daniel Jones ain't going to do it. I don't think Saquon Barkley is going to do anything. If he does, he gets a touchdown in garbage time. But I'm taking that Saints D all day today. I feel so sorry for Daniel Jones in that offense today.
I mean, me personally, I played Winston. I mean, I think he's been playing really good. I know everyone's been trolling him. I've been watching him. I mean, he's not playing terrible. He's not throwing. He's slinging it, but he's being more patient, not trying to fit everything in a box.
In the words of Bill Parcells, you are what your record says you are. But he is playing well.
Well, he's playing well, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I'm going back to draft night and saying when I said Daniel Jones is going to be the best quarterback in this draft.
I wish we had a soundbite for that.
Well,
so we can replay it all the time.
I think we still can't get it. I mean,
yeah,
we
sure
we don't have glass.
Well, who the hell? Who the hell is Daniel Jones going to throw the ball to today? Slayton's out.
Shepard's
out. Shepard's out.
Oh, don't they have I think
Callaway?
a good play this week was the other guy.
Galladay?
Galladay.
Not Tony. Tony's been trash. Or there's another receiver there that actually might get a lot of work. Who got a lot of work last week. So I don't remember his name, but if the Giants are going to be down potentially in this game, I don't know. They're probably going to be throwing it. And Jason Garrett's, if they keep this up, he's probably going to get fired.
He's never going to get another coaching job ever again.
I think he could be a good coach under certain circumstances, but
Yeah, you say under Sarkisian?
no, certain circumstances.
Oh, okay.
Like not being under Jerry Jones.
Don't bring the Longhorns, please.
Well, just an FYI, I did take out Chris Carson, put in David Montgomery, and moved Michael Pittman into a flex on Wednesday.
You don't like the Chris Carson play this week?
I don't know. I don't know yet. We're going to cover that later on.
We're not there yet.
We're going to have to cover that later on. See if you can convince me to switch it back to Chris Carson.
Carson's been playing well, but he's been playing well in the beginning of it. That offense seems a bit odd in the second half. They seem to be a bit reserved. I don't know.
Super strange.
Well, I mean, you're right. It's. I don't know what it is with the Seahawks. It's kind of a.
Well, today they're playing the 49ers. If you go back in history, this is not a high-scoring game between these two. They're always low-scoring. That's always close game.
Well, the 49ers are not going to double anybody, so don't worry, Rudy. Metcalf should go off this week.
There you go, trying to convince me to stick with Metcalf, even though I said I may.
Well, I mean, listen, how do you leave Devontae Adams wide open? You don't even double the guy.
Why are you still on that? I mean, I got you covered 1 week, and
it's annoying because you watch him run his route, and I know where Aaron's going. So how about you just double him and let Valdez, Scantley, and whoever the hell's on the receiving core,
Lazard,
make them beat you. If they go deep and beat you with a touchdown,
tip your hat to him, say good job, whatever.
Good job, you won. But how do you let Devontae have like 20 targets? It's insane. I mean, listen, Devontae's outstanding, and he probably could have beat the double coverage anyway, but at least try.
I'm sorry. I did beat you, though, by a point, thanks to Devontae. Heading over to the New York Jets and the Tennessee Titans. I just so happenly, in the leagues that I'm sucking in right now, I so happen to look at the matchups, and in every single league, I am playing against one King Henry. Is there any possible way we can stack 20 guys in the box just to stop this guy so I can win
Good luck, Rudy.
fantasy games?
Because this could be one of these 3 touchdown.
Oh God, I'm
crazy
hoping
games.
just 3 touchdowns.
He's gonna get a lot of touches today.
3 touchdowns and a receiving touchdown.
Start him in DFS too.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
Right up the king, because I think this could be a get-right game for the Titans. Though Julio Jones is out, and also A.J. Brown is out this week. So
that's the reason why I don't. That's the reason why I'm pissed off, is because the 1 week they're out, everybody knows the ball's going to Derek. Everybody knows he's going to be catching shit out of the backfield too. This is a Derrick Henry game. The fantasy gods have literally rammed up the fantasy poll up my ass this week because of this whole Derrick Henry game, the whole Tennessee Titans thing. I mean, I don't know, man.
Hey, the fantasy gods were on your side last week. That's all I got to say.
Well, yeah, and this is payback. This is my payback. Let's go ahead and have every receiver out for Tennessee. We're going to start everybody on the line for Tennessee to open up holes for Derrick Henry. New York can't tackle worth a damn. So I'm screwed. Literally, I'm screwed because Derrick Henry is going to have a massive game. Ryan Tannehill is, I think you do not start him at all. Even against the Jets, poor defense. Who the hell is he going to throw the ball to? I mean, Frisco is probably your only option.
Is Jamison Crowder still on that team? Please correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know.
Look it up while you go on. We'll start. Trey, give me some insight on this game. Jets and Titans. On the Jets side, I mean, we can see some relevance on the Jets side. Corey Davis could be relevant in this game. Zach Wilson could have an okay day. I think we might see the small emergence of one Tar Heel and Michael Carter in this game.
I was thinking the same.
Yeah, so give me some inside trade definitely while I look up this Tennessee Titans roster because on the receiving side, I got no idea what they got right now.
I'm with you on the Tennessee side. I mean, there's no, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a whole dose of Henry today. I feel so sorry for the Jets front seven there. But like you said, Corey Davis is going to be your go-to. I think just because the Tennessee Titans defense really isn't all that great. I think Zach Wilson's going to have an average to an okay day. Also, Corey Davis is going to, I think, give you some value and fantasy points. I mean, y'all said everything that needs to be said about this game. The Titans' defense isn't good. I think I think it's going to be closer with both those receivers out. But I think Tennessee pulls away and wins by 10 points. But I still think that I wouldn't play the Jets' defense. I wouldn't play anybody but Corey Davis. Maybe Zach Wilson if you can get him on the cheap because that Tennessee defense, like I said, is not all that great. So he will pass her for some yards, maybe give you a touchdown or two. But, I mean, basically y'all said everything I was going to say. So way to steal my thunder right there, guys. Appreciate it.
What about Barrios?
Wow. We basically Devontae Adams your take right there.
You did.
Sorry.
I'm so bad. I'm so mad.
I get the eye roll.
Goes Rudy again. You know, the past 2 weeks, I lost to Lamar Jackson on Sunday night and then lose to damn Devontae Adams on Sunday out. I should be 3-0 right now, but I digress.
What about Barrios? What do you think about him? He'll play?
He could be a play this week. The Titans' secondary is not very good, and we know this for a fact. So Barrios, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis is back from injury. I think, or was Corey out last week? I don't remember, but
yeah, I think he was out just last week. He's back.
So right off the fence is Michael Carter. I have him in one of my leagues. He's just sitting on the bench there, just chilling, and just maybe if the Jets could just start using Zach Wilson. There's going to be a lot of growing pains this season as a rookie. But I think as the season goes on, Michael Carter could be one of those guys that in the playoffs, Rudy, when teams are sitting players out and you got Michael Carter, you're starting to get you 20 points. I don't know. But this is more of a end of the season type of pick for me, at least for right now.
Yeah, hey, Tony Ornalis is in here, and he's asking, would you take a chance on Callaway as your flex instead of Pittman, being Callaway with the Saints game? Man, it's tough because I still feel that Pittman is probably your better play regardless, especially against the Dolphins. But when you look in New Orleans, it's all about Kamara right now. I mean, Jameis isn't really throwing the ball. He's not slinging it left and right. It could be different today, but I think if you're looking at the receiving core, I still am pretty high on Deontay Harris. I like Deontay Harris, especially on the deep threat. I think Callaway is going to get you some receptions, but the other part is if you're going to go between Marcus Callaway and Michael Pittman Jr., Michael Pittman is the guy and the better play when it comes to the Colts and, the Miami Dolphins. He's the better play. Overall, I mean, he's going to get a lot of targets, I believe. When do you guys want to step in here, Gio? When it comes to Callaway and Pittman, who's the better play for you? I'm going Pittman regardless right now. I think with Quentin Nelson being out, the run game may take a little bit of a step back, just a tad bit, but that's only going to affect Jonathan Taylor owners. It's not going to affect Naeem Hine owners so much because he can catch out of the backfield really well. I think Pittman's a better play. Who do you think is a better play for Tony here?
I'm gonna go with Pittman. Callaway, is he gonna get James Bradbury this week from the Giants? Maybe, and that's probably the Giants' best corner. Give me Pittman though, and with a better quarterback, necessarily throwing the ball right now at least consistently in certain spots. But give me Pittman this week. But Callaway could go off too. This could be one of these weird kind of quirky games where maybe at the end he gets a touchdown. But give me Pittman this
for the volume.
And I don't always going, with the volume this week, a little bit more of a safer play. Callaway's kind of been up and down.
Yeah, and he's also breaking the news to us that Dalvin Cook is playing, which I kind of had a feeling he would be playing today. Now the question being is how much does he play? How much work does Dalvin Cook get? I mean, Zimmer can possibly do a complete 50-50 split, which I mean, with Cook, it's not that bad. I mean, he's going to get his work in. But where I kind of see it happening is Zimmer going to screw us on the goal line carry, or he's going to throw Matson in there at goal line. I sure as hell hope not. Thank you for the breaking news, Tony. Really do appreciate it, and hope we helped you on your flex play this week. Moving along, guys. Chiefs and Eagles, man. Chiefs and Eagles. This is a bounce back game for Jalen Hurts. I am all in on Jalen Hurts today. I mean, I know he got hurt by the Cowboys ego-wise because, of course, Trey is a Dallas Cowboy fan. We're not all perfect, Trey. We could be Dirty Bird fans. I think the Jalen Hurts bus starts up again this week. I like Jalen Hurts. I like Devontae Smith. I think where the mistake was made by the Philadelphia Eagles will not be made again. You will not give your best player 2 carries the entire damn game. This is, I believe, a Miles Sanders type game. I feel that Miles Sanders is going to get a lot of work in this game. But let's not forget the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is a little pissed off because, again, I'm the only guy that said they would go on a 2-game losing streak. So
I don't remember that, but okay.
Oh, but you remember Daniel Jones shit, right? All the fucking time.
Whoa,
I am saying this.
Hey, are we going to censor that?
We don't censor stuff on the podcast.
I'm sorry,
it's only
people
the
who are
radio show.
listening to this right now.
Wow.
Santa Maria.
All right. I apologize to the church congregation here. So
I
as far as
on the
the
big
Chiefs go,
screen, waiting for the sermon to start to see who they need to play.
Jeez. Oh, are we on the big screen at church? I will definitely say 10 Hail Marys for that. I apologize. So when it comes to the Chiefs, man, Patrick Mahomes, I got one question for Will here. Travis Kelce has been the absolute bomb diggity in Kansas City for Mahomes. Can Tyreek Hill have that Tyreek Hill game today? Because I still feel like we're not getting anything and everything we were expected from Tyreek today. This has to be that game.
I mean, I hope it's close. I mean, we got that game out of them week 1, but I feel like everyone's honing in on taking away their best player and letting Kelce beat them. I don't understand what it is. I mean, if I'm a defense, I'm honing in on Kelce and making the Chiefs beat me outside of Kelce. But I think Andy Reid's going to try to get the ball in Tyreek's hands, some end arounds, some shuffle passes, any little thing just to get the ball in his hands, let him be able to use his speed and his agility and everything just to try to make something happen. I mean, we haven't seen many shuffle passes this year out of Kansas City games that I've watched. There might have been 1 or 2, but I mean, you might start seeing some more wide receiver screens. Might start going back to some basic bubble screens, shuffle passes, things. You just got to get the ball in this guy's hand. And I think Andy Reid's realizing that they're on a 2-game skid. I mean, I think he's just going to do whatever he's got to do to give Tyreek 10 touches. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, 10 touches, catches, handoff, something. Give the guy the ball. Let him do what he does.
Yeah, and this is another game where CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think is probably going to have a decent day. We saw Zeke and Pollard just absolutely manhandled the Eagles front line. So I think that we can see CEH having a really good game here. And go ahead.
I mean, if you look at it, I mean, they're trying to run the ball a lot this year. I mean, they're trying to, I don't know if they're just trying to make CEH feel like he's part of the team, whatever. But I mean, he's got 44 carries already. Last year, I don't think he had that right away. I mean, he's fumbled a couple times. I don't know what Andy Reid's trying to do with this kid, but I mean, I like it, but it's taken away from who they are as a team.
I personally believe that Andy Reid is doing the Bill Belichick thing. Early September, Bill Belichick usually September is preseason, and then they're ramping it. I think he's practicing and seeing what they could do. But I didn't think Andy Reid didn't anticipate his division catching up to them this quick, right? Like the Denver Broncos, that's a damn good football team. The Chargers, damn good football team. I mean, that division is Raiders undefeated right now. I think that's what they're trying to do. But I think, like, Will, you're right on this. I think that they're going to get Tyreek the ball a lot. They're going to find Andy Reid had to spend the night in a hospital. I think he drew up plays in his hospital bed, trying to figure out how to get Tyreek heal the ball and everything like that. But also, Rudy, you're also right on this game. That Kansas City Chiefs defensive front is horrible. Miles Sanders is going to be running Rubshaw all over. That's the best player that the Eagles have. Look for them to run the ball a lot this game, and look for them to do a couple screens to Miles Sanders, little flanks out to him in the open area, stuff like that. Jalen Hurts could have a good game, but I think it's going to be more on Miles Sanders. And I also believe that the Tyreek Hill is going to have a big game, and I think they're going to tailgate Travis Kelce. I wouldn't play Travis. I know this is hard, but I'm not playing Travis Kelce in Daily Wire this week.
Damn, no Travis Kelce for.
I think Will said. I think they're going to try to take Travis Kelce away. I think that's what the Eagles are going to do. I think that's exactly what they're going to do.
You should. I mean, it's short guaranteed passes. You're not throwing it 30 yards down the field to Tyreek.
And for the love of God, can the Chiefs? We all know the Chiefs are good, and Patrick Mahomes can do everything. But can you please stop with the no-look passes, the fantasy, the great top 10 Sports Center plays? Just do what's right, and y'all will be winning games. Y'all be 3-0. I mean, and don't fumble the ball.
Or 0-3.
You're asking for a lot, Trey. You're asking for a lot.
I am asking for a lot, but dang it, I mean, they need to win this game. They need to win this game, or they're going to be in trouble. They're going to be, because the Raiders look like they're for real this year.
Game of the week coming up. Before we get to the game of the week, this is the Fantasy Countdown. We make all your fantasy wins a reality. Sponsored by United Collision Care Center. If you're in an accident, contact the guys over at United Collision Care Center. Luis and the boys are certified technicians. They'll get you back on the road in no time. Definitely the only place you want to go to get your car fixed, whether it be paint, body, or even window repair, anything like that. These guys at United Collision Care Center will take care of all of your car needs. We are powered by Project Spurs. Spurs season right around the corner. Actually starts tomorrow with preseason. Your San Antonio Spurs take the court tomorrow. I believe it's against Utah. Preseason action. Was it?
I thought it was tonight.
I think it's tomorrow, Monday. I'll look it up here in a minute. Either way, the season started about ready to get started here. Go to Project Spurs and definitely get all your Spurs need there. DraftKings.com. Get your lineups in today. Use that promo code TBPN when you sign up for your first DraftKings account. Use that promo code TBPN. Buster.com. You got the gambling niche like a lot of us do. Go to Buster.com. www.buster.com/sweep delete. Get your account started today. Game of the week for me, Cardinals and Rams. Gio is so happy that the Georgia Bulldogs are the team that they are right now. Apparently, they're the best team in the country from what I've heard earlier in the show. I seriously don't think they are. I think the best team in the country lies in the 2-1-0. So, fight me if you want.
Dude, I was going to talk about that, but you cut me off. But yeah, I love me some Roadrunners right now. That's a good team.
And Gio, a Roadrunner is
in Georgia.
Really fast.
Listen here, Gio. Don't talk.
If Georgia played UTSA, Rudy.
We know, all right?
Bring out the coffins.
Don't take away Jeff Traylor and the UTSA Roadrunners. They're shining light right now, buddy.
No. Weren't they a 17-point thing, and they only beat UNLV by 7?
I know this is fantasy, and I'll say this real quick. UNLV 0-4 record going into that game was they played 3 ranked teams in a row. They had a tough schedule, so that was a tougher team than what the record indicated. That Bill Parcells thing. Oh, you are what you're right. No, UNLV.
Well, I mean, Bill Parcells is right though. I mean, are what you're. But anyway, shout out to UT Davis, UT Chattanooga, UT Santa Monica, whatever you want to call it. Shout out to UTSA. They are undefeated and might be in the top 25. I think they might be a little out because of that weird win that they should have blown them out. But if they keep it up, they could be in a nice little bowl game, the Papa John's Bowl, the Pizza Hut Calzone Bowl, the Rudy Campbell Sam Howell's Not Good Bowl. You know, there's a lot of other type of bowl games they could be in.
If they go undefeated, they should be in a New Year's Six Bowl.
No.
They could be the highest ranked. They could be the highest ranked team in the non-Power 5.
Maybe play Cincinnati. I mean, Georgia had a tough.
Cincinnati's not Power 5, right?
Cincinnati's going to be in the playoffs.
I don't know about that, but we'll see.
Anyway, I got a question for Gio real quick. How are you going to be
me too.
watching the Mariners and the Rams at the same time? You going to have like 3 screens up?
Yeah, I mean, I have an NFL Sunday ticket. I'll probably have that on my tablet and then have the Mariners game on my PlayStation. Shout out to T-Mobile every year giving us free MLB, whatever that package is. They give it to us free every year. So,
Dude, I have Uber TV, dude. You can get 4 multiple screens, like pretty decent screens, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, so I'll be having that on, and then maybe I'll have something on my computer. But the Mariners, if they don't make the playoffs, it was still a pretty good season, and all this without Kyle Lewis. Get healthy, man. We need you back next year in that lineup.
I don't know, man. I think y'all might have a play-in game tomorrow with my Yankees.
We could. I'm hoping for those Rays, man, because if they can get that play-in game.
Yankees fan, Cowboys fan, man.
And if the Mariners would have won on Friday because they lost 2-1, this would have been the game to get in. But
let's go to this game, Gio. Go ahead, give us your take.
All right.
The Rams and the Cardinals. This is going to be a good football game. The Cardinals haven't beaten the Rams in quite some time, so I'm a little worried this could be a game where Cardinals finally get the nod. Obviously, I'm going to pick the Rams here, but the Rams and Cardinals, it's a division game, and these games are always tough. Throw the record out. It doesn't matter who you play, but for the Rams, get that running game going. I think Henderson's going to play today with Sony Michel. Keep the offense off the field. The Rams defense has given up a good amount of yards the past few weeks, but not enough points. And I think the Rams defense should show up today because I think Kyler Murray in that team. Now, is Hopkins playing today?
Yes.
Okay, so him against Jalen, that's always a good matchup. But listen, last week I said Deshaun Jackson is going to get off, and he did. Not sure if this is the week he's going to continue that. But Sean, if you're listening, can we get some Tutu Atwell out there, man? He's the speedster, and he can fly. He's another one who can fly out there. So maybe the Rams might sprinkle in some other players.
We only want to hear about Robert Woods, please.
Well,
what's that?
We only want to hear about Robert Woods.
Dude, Robert Woods is disappointing me this year. Everyone thought that he was going to have a great year, and now he's.
I mean, Terry, it's not that he's disappointing. It's just he hasn't been getting the ball. Stafford, he's just been throwing it to Cooper Kupp.
Is this like? I think today's the day that Robert Woods goes off. I think that the Cardinals kind of double team Coop a little bit. I think because
this could be the day.
This could be the day. And Deshaun Jackson, like you called it last week, which I hate giving you credit for, but you did call it last week that he would. But Deshaun Jackson always goes off for like one game, then you don't hear from him for another 6 weeks, right?
But the good thing about how the Rams are using Deshaun is just run streaks.
Exactly.
Do not run these slants because that's how he gets hurt. Just run a straight route. He should be good. I mean, he could still pull a hamstring, but that's how you use him. Just run in a straight line, dude. Run as fast as you can.
Also, going into this game too, because fantasy wise, I know play everybody. The Cardinals, Rams, whoever, play everybody. This guy, I think, has potential to be a high scoring affair. Anyway, but I think going to the pick'em game, I know that the Rams kind of got up, like it's kind of a trap game, right? Because you were up last week against the Tampa Bay, by the Super Bowl champions and everything, the emotions and everything going into that game. Could it be a letdown just a little bit, just for enough the Cardinals get an early lead and then the Rams come back? I have the Rams winning, but only by like 3 points. I think they kick a game-winning field goal at the end, but I think it's going to be one of those trap games where you're going to see kind of a slow start for the Rams. Do you see it that way, Gio?
It could be. I mean, Sean McZay was doing a bunch of rah-rah last week on the sidelines. And there was a lot of energy spent, but I think this football team, a lot of veteran leadership in certain areas of this team, I think they'll be ready to play. I mean, you're at home. If they were on the road after a big win like this, you'd definitely be concerned. They're at home this week, so the fans would kind of hopefully pump them up. But I respect the Cardinals and what they have going. So this is going to be a good football game. I think potentially the best game of the week.
Okay, so the biggest question that I've got for Gio on this, okay, Kyler Murray. How good of a performance do we see Kyler Murray today? Because the Rams defense is not, I mean, it's not something that you want to go up in against, day in, day out. I mean, we saw how the
Yeah.
Rams were against Tom Brady.
Kyler has struggled against the Rams. I mean, the Rams beat them last year. Was it 33-0, or there was a shutout last year? So Kyler's not played well against the Rams. It's the Rams defense is fast, and that's one of the issues I think that Kyler has is that the Rams defensive front and their kind of how they play defense with a lot of safeties. So they're quick to the ball. I think Kyler's going to have a good game. I think he keeps the momentum. But if he starts to get sacked early and that pressure's around, it could be a long day for Kyler, but I think he's going to play well. Probably 300 yards. I mean, the Rams, they're a bend, don't break right now. They're giving up yardage. They're not giving up touchdowns. So that's the key thing in all this. They may give up yardage, but in the red zone, Rams have been pretty good.
I actually am going to admit I've benched Kyler in 2 leagues that I've got for this week just because I don't like the play.
But who are you starting him for?
One of them is Jalen Hurts, and the
That's
other
why you're
one,
taking Jalen Hurts this week.
yeah, I'm taking Jalen Hurts this week. The other one, actually, I'm starting
Daniel
I'm
Jones?
starting Matt Stafford on the other one. So I've got 2 good
my
guys backing me up when it comes to Kyler Murray. I do have Kyler and Lamar in 1 league together. I don't like the Lamar play, but
Neither.
it's kind of one where do I rather see Lamar against Denver or would I rather see Kyler against the Rams? That's kind of a tough one for me. So
I think they're all good plays this week. I think Kyler could be pretty well, maybe not a big yardage game, but maybe a few touchdowns, depending on how your league scoring is.
well, it's pretty. It's
See,
4
here's my
points for
dilemma,
passing.
Gio.
It's 4 points passing. Obviously, rushing is 6. So
Touchdowns.
I think Lamar's probably going to be the better play between the 2. Seahawks and Niners. We talked about this game earlier a little bit here. Seahawks and Niners. This is for me where I think DK Metcalf actually emerges finally this season, where he's going to put up some really big numbers. This Chris Carson play, it's really hard for me to say. Chris Carson has been playing very well, but do we see the receiving core of the Seattle Seahawks just take over this game? That's the part that I'm kind of bitten with here. On the 49ers side, I mean, everybody's waiting for Brandon Ayuk to just take over again. And he came through, I believe last week he had a touchdown. So I still think Deebo Samuel's the better play when it comes to the 49ers right now. Their backfield is just terrible. I mean, Elijah Mitchell should be the guy if he's playing today to get majority of the carries. You can't really keep Trey Sermon on the sidelines. I mean, he had an okay week last week.
If this is the game, though, Rudy, if this is the game where the Niners try to run, I think they could be successful.
I think so. I mean, I think so with this Niners
That's
Seahawks matchup here. But, let me go to Will Haverland on this one. As far as this game goes, is Chris Carson value very high against the Niners this week?
Absolutely. I mean, his value is always going to be what it is. You didn't take him in the top 2 rounds. You got him in somewhere between the 3rd and the 5th round. I mean, he's going to be your number 2 running back. They seem to give him the ball. I mean, he's averaging almost five yards a carry. We know San Francisco wants the ball, so they're going to try to manipulate the clock. I don't necessarily see Seattle being down a lot where the run game be taken away. I do see Seattle wanting. That's what they've turned into with wide receivers. But Carson's going to get his 20 touches. I mean, I feel like he's going to get. Well, he's probably going to get his 15 to 18 touches. He's not the greatest. He's at catching balls out of the backfield, but notice the last couple games he's gotten 2 targets out of the backfield. 1, maybe 2. I mean, that's what they need to do. They're another team they're better than what their record is. I think they're going to go back to trying to ground and pound. I mean, Pete Carroll likes to run the ball. In the last couple of years, I mean, he's turned it around where he's got DK, he's got these guys that can just fly. He's doing that, but I think we're trying. help Russell Wilson at least get one MVP vote this year. So, I mean, you're going to see a little bit of everything. I think they're definitely going to run the ball, but they're going to pass it. But I think Carson's still got his value for what you drafted him at.
Yeah. As far with the Seahawks and 49ers game, like we talked a lot about it earlier. I don't think Jimmy G's a bad play on this game as well. I mean, I think a lot of the plays are going to be in this game. You should have a lot of fantasy value overall everywhere in this game. So definitely a game you want to watch out for with the receiving core, Metcalf, Lockett, as well as Ayuk and Samuels. Then, of course, the running back situation, I think, probably Trey Sermon, like Gio was saying, is probably the better play this week when it comes to the running backs for the 49ers. Chris Carson, again, I'm still debating, do I start him or Michael Pittman at the front?
I would start Carson. I just think they like to run the football. I think they'll get to going.
All right. I'm going to trust you, even though I'm not playing that against you. So
don't blame me if it don't work out, but
you can blame me. You can blame me.
All right.
I think that Carson will deliver in the red zone. The Seahawks are going to get in the red zone. I mean, I think we can almost guarantee that. So, yeah.
I got you. Moving along, Trey. We're going to start with you on this. Let's move right along. And we got 4 games left after this. Fantasy Countdown brought to you by United Collision Care Center. Goes visit the guys out there, United Collision Care Center. Fantasy Countdown, Ravens and Broncos. This is that game I just talked about, Lamar Jackson. I mean, I think he's a good play here, but I still kind of feel a little skeptical. I do like the Broncos defense a little bit. So, I mean, I respect them enough to question my thoughts on whether I should start Lamar this weekend. But the one guy that I'm looking at when it comes to the Ravens is Hollywood Brown. Can we expect Hollywood Brown to be putting up some numbers this week against the Broncos?
Yes. I think Hollywood Brown is going to show up big time today because of those 4, 5, 6, whatever drop passes he had. He had a horrible game last week, and by all means, they had Justin Tucker save his behind because of that 66-yard field goal.
I would have beat Rudy if one of those catches would have actually went through.
God,
you mean he played a normal game?
So bad for that.
Man, I think Hollywood can have a really good season. Just catch the ball, my friend.
I think he's going to catch the ball today, but that you said the Broncos defense they're in Mile High. Can we see Justin Tucker maybe kick a 70-yarder in that altitude today?
You probably could.
I mean, it's possible, but my gosh. I just feel bad for the Lions the way that game ended. But anyway, I would start Lamar Jackson today, even though he says he has a lower back injury or something. I think it's because of that stupid celebration he did in the end zone. I don't understand why these quarterbacks and receivers and everyone want to do flips in the end zone when they don't have to. It just makes no sense to me. But anyway, yes, Hollywood Brown's going to have – I think he is going to have a big game today. I think he's going to revenge from what he had last week with those drop passes. I think he's probably going to have 7 catches today, probably for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm predicting that right now. I would play him. If you have him, I'll play him today. I think – and then the Broncos D, it's good, but I think the running attack of Lamar Jackson – Hollywood Brown collecting the ball. I also believe that if he's accurate enough, the Ravens will score some points today. Justin Tucker is a fantasy play today in that altitude. I think that he's going to try to go for 68, 70 yarders today in that altitude in pregame. So we'll see what that happens. Denver Broncos wise, man.
Y'all making Trey guess himself. So he can guess himself here.
Well, I'm trying to think if Teddy Bridgewater can have a good day today because I don't know what that Ravens defense is going to bring today. Teddy Bridgewater's been playing.
He's going to have an efficient day.
Yeah. I actually have the Broncos winning this game, by the way, by 3 points.
3. All right. So, I mean, yeah, the fantasy value is
going to have a game.
That's who no, he won't. He's on my fantasy team.
Well, you can't just speak for your own team. You got to speak for everybody.
It's just about you, Trey.
Well, apparently it is because every time I draft these players, they have a crappy game, and then I drop them, and then they have great games after that.
That's why they don't drop people right away.
I'm talking about daily. I'm not talking about regular season.
Okay.
I'm talking about draft games.
Oh, man. We're going to go – as far as the Broncos go, I do like Javonte Williams today a lot. I think he's going to have a really good day today.
I think Le'Veon Bell's playing, right?
think so.
Le'Veon Bell is active. Whether
He's
he's playing or
active.
not, I don't know. He's active. So I
Get him,
I
Trey.
can guarantee you if I was to log into either ESPN Fantasy, Yahoo, he's probably going to be the number one added guy right now since he's become active. Everybody's out there adding him left and right, which again, I'd stay far away from Le'Veon Bell today as possible.
Hey.
I don't.
Throwing out Le'Veon gets 2 touchdowns.
He can probably get 2 carries for 2 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he's back. Like Texas, he's back. And I'll tell you right now, one team that's not
The
bad,
Razorbacks.
Exactly.
are the Steelers. This is a difference of
Man, this
being
game's
back
over.
here. Steelers and Packers. I do see Deontay Johnson is playing. If I'm not mistaken, I saw that he was active for this game last time, or he was still questionable, but I think he's going to play. Najee Harris for the Steelers is one of the plays right here that I think is probably the safest play. Ben Roethlisberger, I don't think you're playing him. If you're playing him, you must have just had a really terrible draft, or
You're in a 16-team league that doesn't have.
Yeah, you're probably in a 16-team league.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel like anybody should be playing Ben in this game. Green Bay side, man. I mean, you want to use Devontae Adams like I did and just screw over people like one of the guys in the panel here. Devontae Adams should get, and he's giving me the eye roll underneath his closed eyelids. Yes, I'm sorry, Devontae Adams. Aaron Jones, obviously another guy you want to play here. Aaron Rodgers definitely is a play here. I can see Marquez Valdez-Scantling having a nice touchdown here as well. The one guy I'd like to maybe ask about Green Bay, and I'm going to ask you about this, is Robert Tonyan. He has always the potential of busting out in every game. I mean, I used him when he was last year for a few wins because he had a couple of touchdowns. Against the Steelers, I actually feel both sides of the ball with Robert Tonyan and Pat Freiermuth that these two guys could have good games today. They could be valuable in fantasy football. Even in daily fantasy, you can probably play these guys at your tight end position. Robert Tonyan, Gio, as well as anything else you got for the Packers and Steelers?
Well, for the Packers, listen, it's Devontae Adams heavy and Jones heavy. So the rest of the leftovers divides up into Marquez, Cobb, Tonyan. I think Tonyan in a better situation, and I know this sounds crazy, but if Tonyan was with the Chiefs or if Tonyan was on a different style of offense, I think we could see him maybe explode even more than what he has going on year 2. And then for this Pittsburgh, is that Freiermuth, right? Is that, yeah, Freiermuth. Listen, I think he was one of the better tight ends in last year's draft. If Ben can just throw the ball, and obviously Ben's been having a tough time, I think he's a good play this week in weekly fantasy. But you're obviously going to start Jones, Aaron Rodgers this week. Valdez-Scantling, I mean, he's up and
He's
down.
not playing. He's hurt.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So
Injured reserve.
okay, so the Lizard and also Tonyan this week looks like a pretty good play. So Tonyan will probably get even more looks if that's Chris. And for the Pittsburgh, I mean, we thought their offensive line was improving, and I don't know. It doesn't seem to be all that great for Najee Harris.
Well, they're not using them correctly.
Yeah, but they're also missing 3 linemen.
I don't give a crap. It's Najee Harris. He can carry 4 guys on his back.
Well, I mean, it's the NFL. Listen, nonetheless, their offensive line's been up.
Well, you saw what he did to that.
Big
you see
12.
the stiff arm that he had against an NFL player. I'm just saying, this guy's tough. I mean, this guy can carry some people. Just saying. But go ahead, Gio.
I mean, he's getting touches. Like, he's getting the volume is there, but not a whole lot with that volume. But give me the Packers today. I just think Pittsburgh right now, they're not trending in the right direction.
I actually have Pittsburgh.
Definitely not. So yeah, I mean, I didn't realize MVS is out today, so I think Tonyan does get a lot more looks today. And
Yeah,
it's not Lizard, it's Lazard for Gio's sake.
sorry to disrespect you, man.
I mean, I'm benching Rodgers, so I'm going for
You're benching
quarterback of the
Rodgers?
game of the week.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Taking
I don't blame
Stafford
you. If you have
over.
Tom Brady, you have Stafford.
Stafford.
Yeah. Okay. For Rodgers and Stafford, I can maybe see Stafford getting the start. I mean, right in the hot hand. Why Gio isn't all absolutely, jumping up and down for people saying they're starting Stafford today? I have
No, I'm not.
mean,
I was just
I'm
thinking about it. That's all.
I'm putting
Trying to
Robert Woods in over
maximize
Hopkins.
his-
I'm going big.
Oh.
Game of the week number 2. Tom Brady goes back to Foxborough, and everybody and Gronk is out this week, so Gronk's not
Sad.
playing.
That is sad.
So Cameron Breit is probably a guy that you want to look at if you need a replacement. You don't have a backup tight end, which if you do, again, your draft may not have been really great because you don't really draft 2 tight ends unless you're going to get, Kelsey and Waller in one draft, which I actually did see in one draft that I was in. Shout out to that guy, man, because he's been playing both of them every single week and winning. But Cameron Brate's a really good play. Now, this game right here, a lot of people are expecting the Bucks to just steamroll the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you're not playing Damian Harris. You're not going to play Damian Harris. We're not going to do the bullshit play of Damian Harris. I mean, James White is out, I believe. You're not going to play James White. No, you're not going to play no running backs in this game. Leonard Fournette is probably the only safe play at running back this week on either side. Now, receiving core, Godwin, Mike Evans. I mean, those guys are going to definitely get you some points. Antonio Brown has been activated, so he's another one. Do the Patriots receiving core have any shot in this game? I feel like Tampa is just going to blitz and bum rush this entire game, not give Mac Jones any opportunity to throw the ball. Trey, do you think this game could get ugly really fast? And do the Patriots have any type of fantasy value today?
Not today.
Outside of maybe their kicker.
Not even their kicker. Not even their. Well, maybe their kicker might get you a couple field goals. But man, I feel sorry for Mac Jones today. I think that I think this whole team is rallying around Tom Brady today, and they want to make a statement win for Tom Brady. They know how big a deal it is for Tom Brady. What Tom Brady did for this organization, bringing a Super Bowl, the leadership to this team, the missing piece to win a Super Bowl last year. It's just, I think this whole defense is good. They knows how bad Tom Brady wants this. They want to shove it to Mac Brown. Mac Brown can't throw a ball over 30 yards to save his life anyway. And you're right. I think they're going to blitz heavy. I think this is going to be the game that the Cardinals are going to play very good defense. And not the Cardinals. The Buccaneers are going to play very good defense. And I think that I honestly don't see a touchdown until garbage time. I think Tom Brady is gonna. I think he's gonna throw. I know I overdid it when on Wednesday night show. I said 7. I wanted to see him beat the record or get close to the record. I think he throws 4 to 5 touchdowns today. It sucks that Gronk's out because I think I wanted him to pass the break the record with Gronkowski touchdown, most passing yards. So I just
4 to 5.
I think 4 to 5 touchdowns. Leonard Fournette probably he's going to be on the right play, but the Buccaneers really haven't ran the ball that well this year. But I want to play anybody on the New England side. I would play everybody on the Bucs side. I think Brown is going to have a phenomenal game coming back. Because I read something today that he's also kind of mad because he wanted to finish his career in New England, and it just didn't happen that way, mostly because of his sake. But he wants to make a statement as well. I look for Tom Brady Brown connection. Godwin's gonna have a good game. Evans, maybe Evans will have a great game. I know Evans probably, but I think they're gonna double team Evans. But you really can't double team anyone on this wide receiver core because they have so many wide receivers that can beat you. I think they're maybe top 2 in receiving core. Them in Dallas kind of right there with the receiving core. They just have so much depth right there. Man, give me Tampa Bay by 15 plus, maybe 15 to 18.
This could be a Ronald Jones game too, by the way.
Exactly.
Watch out. He could have one of these weird 2 touchdown games coming out of nowhere. So if you're a betting man, Ronald Jones could be a decent play if he doesn't fumble. Because once he fumbles, he's out of the game.
Exactly.
I mean, that's it. I mean, he fumbles once, he's done.
Bruce Arians, you're out. You're done.
You're at the whole game.
I think he does fumble today, so that's why I'm staying away from Ronald Jones. So
that's why Leonard Fournette's to play because he's the only running back left.
as far as running back goes, I mean, because Bernard's injured, so obviously you're not playing Giovanni Bernard. But I mean, as far as running backs go, there's no running back playing this game at all. You don't run on Tampa Bay, so forget all of the running backs on New England.
The Rams did a good job.
Yeah, but they still didn't do like phenomenal.
You're talking about the Rams, though. The Rams are one of the elite teams in the league.
And I still think that
Thank you, Rudy.
And I still think that they actually overlooked the Rams, because I think they were looking forward to this game.
You see, there it goes. They overlooked the Rams, so they weren't prepared. This whole narrative.
I'm not taking anything from the Rams. I'm not. I'm just saying that didn't look like the typical Tampa Bay team that we've seen the first 3 weeks.
I think the Giants were overlooking the Falcons last week.
What
about Richard Sherman? How good is he going to play today?
Yes,
Jeff Page
is playing. Yes,
Jeff Page on Facebook is asking, "Is Cook playing?" Yeah, we did get word that Dalvin Cook is playing today. Y'all guys want to confirm that real quick?
Yes,
we did get it earlier.
This guy, Rudy, you think you're in a lot of fantasy leagues? This guy's like in 15 leagues.
I still haven't beat. I'm in 19.
Are you really in 19 leagues?
Rudy, what
do you do, man?
Dude, I feel like after 5, it just kind of gets out of hand. I'm like,
you know what? I tell a lot of people, because they say, "Why are you in so many leagues? How do you keep
because
saying
his wife beats him."
Basically, it's like this. This is the best way to describe it. I work at a strip club. You know, they want to dance. I'm not going to pass it up. I want that money. So you ask me for a dance, I'm going to dance.
If you lose every league, then you have to, is there an entrance fee for every league?
Yes, there is. But I have yet to not be negative in the X number of years that I've played. I've been positive money every single year. That's why I said I'm not a fantasy god. I'm a fantasy immortal. I am positive every single year.
I just can't understand how I have a hard time setting my lineups for 7.
Wait, you're positive for what, Rudy?
Like I said, I am positive. I'm positive on money. No. I come out positive every single money. I don't have
just wanted to clear that up.
I don't
have to clear it up for anybody who thought Rudy was positive for something, but.
No, I don't test positive for HGH or anything like that.
Because we know San Antonio is a hotbed for some positive.
No, nothing like that. Jesus Christ. Why would you even
It's a joke, everyone. It's a joke.
That today. But real quick with Jeff Page being on, everything that says right now he's expected to return today against Cleveland. So right now he is playing according to what the sources are telling us right now. Minnesota Vikings running back Dalvin Cook expected to return today versus Cleveland, so he's expected to play. To answer Jeff's question there, but yeah, man. I mean, it's fantasy football. You've got to play it. Monday night, and we have one game after this. Monday night, Raiders and Chargers. Normally, it's like, oh man, Chargers are gold. You should be playing Herbert, everything that, and you still should be. But we can't sleep on the Raiders anymore. Gio's boy, Darren Waller, is
the Raiders.
He's balling. Derek Carr, one of the best quarterbacks, not only fantasy, but in reality.
He's still available in some leagues.
I went and picked him up after week 2. I was like, no, F that. I'm dropping a guy and I'm picking up Derek Carr just in case. I did say on Sweep the League this past Wednesday, I did say that if the Raiders win this game, Derek Carr has to be your front runner for MVP. He has to be.
There he is,
and I think Gio's the one that said, well, what about Stafford? Well, Stafford, yeah, but you got to remember, Derek Carr is doing more with less than what Stafford has. And that's the reason why I give him the nod. Fantasy-wise in this, the Chargers, I think you still all go with Austin Eckler, Justin Herbert. You still all go with Keenan Allen as well. Mike Williams, I think, is the better play right now. Just right now, until he comes back down from cloud 9. Mike Williams is that play over Keenan Allen. Allen's going to get you the receptions, but Williams is going to get you in the end zone. As far as the Raiders go, I almost said Oakland Raiders. Jesus Christ. As far as the Raiders go, Derek Carr, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow is a play as well. I love me some Hunter Renfrow. What I don't love is what the hell do we do with the Raiders backfield? Geo, Raiders backfield. What are we doing with that?
I mean, didn't Barber run for 100 yards last week, I believe?
Yeah, and now he's going to probably be irrelevant because apparently Jacobs is back. I don't see
Is
how
he?
you get away from the hot hand. That's where I don't agree with Gruden on a lot of stuff.
Well, John, listen, with Kenyon Drake, now Barber, this is a tough one for me. Because the thing about Jacobs is if he plays, and I'm not sure if he will, he can have 2 touchdowns and like 30 yards rushing. Like it seems to me that they're just not able to get the running game going. Also, John doesn't want to fully commit to one person. So I think week to week, until Jacobs really emerges as the number one, this is tough. But I mean, if you drafted Jacobs in that second round, third round, if he plays there, you're probably going to start him. But this is a backfield that's just, it's starting to turn like this backfield with the 49ers. The Patriots is like one guy 1 week, the next guy the other week. It's like, where are we going with this? So I'm glad I didn't look to Josh Jacobs this year, though. I think he's an awesome talent, but unfortunately he's been hurt. So I think that's one of the reasons why they're kind of doing this rotation of backs. Well, obviously he did get hurt earlier in the year. So, but, you know, given the Raiders this week on the road at Los Angeles, California, I think the Raiders get the job done. This is going to be a good football game. But give me the black and silver. Go Raiders this week.
Go Raiders. And, you know, speaking of on the side of the Chargers, I think it's all go on the Chargers side. The only question that I have as far as the Chargers go is what do they rely on more? And we'll go to Will on this one. What do they rely on more here? Is it going to be the running game with Austin Eckler, you know, the dump passes to Austin Eckler, or are they just going to go at the Raiders using Williams and Allen? It's kind of a tough play because this is where we say all systems go for the Chargers, but what's going to hold more water? Is it the run game? Is it using the running backs, or are they just going to go clear cut? Because not only that, if I'm not mistaken, on the Charger side, you also have Jared Cook as well. So, I mean, the passing game could be great, but that also affects the run game. Which side's going to hold more water, running game or the passing game?
Honestly, I think it depends on what the other opposition does. I mean, these teams are, in my opinion, built fairly similar. I mean, the run game's there, depending who it is for the Raiders. I mean, whether it's Josh Jacobs, Peyton Barber. I mean, Kenyon Drake's he's just collecting a check. He's there, participating, trying to catch some passes. But, I mean, I feel like these two teams they're in the same division, built the exact same. They have a running game. Some days that's going to be better than the passing game. I think they're going to do a lot of running, play action fakes, go over the top. I mean, I think this is a chess match of a game. It's not necessarily going to be a flashy game. It's not a game of the week. I mean, it's Monday night, but I think it's going to turn out to be one of the better games of the week because they're just going to go at each other the same way. You may see the Raiders run the ball a lot, but you're going to see the Chargers start passing it, and then once they start passing it, they're going to start trying to hit the running lanes. I think it's just a chess match. I think Eckler's going to have a really good game against them, but I don't know if that's going to be in the passing game or the running game. I think he's just going to have probably 100-plus yards total, and then you're just going to sprinkle in a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I think Herbert's going to try to slow the game down, make it where he can do to be who everyone thought he was going to be this year.
Yeah, and I think so. I mean, that's the point that I wanted to make right there because with the Chargers, it's kind of hard to see which way we go. Last game here, we are the Fantasy Countdown, sponsored by United Collision Care Center. Go see the guys out there. Luis and the guys out there are certified technicians. They'll get you back on the road in no time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League, the Fantasy Countdown, and also Sweep the League radio show coming October 17th, starting every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. Powered by Project Spurs, DraftKings, Buster.com. Last game, guys, before we go, Panthers and Cowboys. Wow. Everybody's on the hype train for Dallas after the Eagles.
Shouldn't they be?
Why shouldn't they be?
Yeah.
I mean, they should be. I mean, it was a great win over, a decent Eagles team, but they're going up against a Panthers defense that has been ball hawking all year long. Zeke Elliott to play today. Yes or no? Simple question. I want a yes or no from you guys going around the horn. Then we'll get into some in-depth coverage of this game. Starting off with Trey first. Yes or no? Zeke Elliott, is he a big play today?
Yes.
Haverland.
No.
Gio.
Yeah, but that's because I think Dallas is just going to win this game. There's no Christian McCaffrey. Dallas gets another break, so.
Oh, good Lord. Good.
Here we go.
From Gio.
Hi.
Ezekiel Elliott gets 2 yeses, 1 no, and I have a hard time benching him, but I don't think he's going to have a big game today. I don't think the run game is going to have a big game today. I think if any running back will, it's going to be Pollard barely, but I think this is where you start Dak left and right. And even at that, I don't know if Dak has a very big game today. I mean, Carolina's I didn't say they're not going to win. Carolina's defense is for real, Trey. I mean, they're for real.
Who are they played?
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it freaking does. They played Jets.
Okay.
Inaccuracy, Jameis Winston.
And they all, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but Jameis did beat the Packers, too.
Yeah.
I said inaccurate Jameis Winston. You don't know what you're going to get.
Jameis didn't play bad against Carolina either, though.
He did have that weird pick, but, I mean, whatever.
I think I want to know.
He still has a good game for.
Yeah.
The defense. I mean, I think the defense for Carolina is a lot better than people give credit for. I mean,
did they lose J.C. Horn?
They lost J.C. Horn, yes.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. Which, I mean, okay, it affects J.C. Horn, but we're talking about the pass game. I mean, you go out, but then we can't forget. I mean, they lose J.C. Horn, but they have C.J. Henderson. I mean, kind of another plug and play guy. So, is it gonna? I guess what I'm trying to get at is, are we looking at a high scoring game for this game right here? I don't see a very high. I think I see a lot more field goals than I do anything else in this game. I don't know if we're gonna get. If anybody has a brilliant day, I mean, Chuba Hubbard maybe is a sneaky play here. I would like to see Robbie Anderson finally have good games, but I don't think Robbie Anderson has a really good game. I think Sam Darnold, Dak Prescott, Chuba Hubbard are probably your better plays. You're going to get receptions out of Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, but for some reason my gut tells me we don't see a lot of scoring yet. It's going to be like 42-35 this game. I mean, but my gut just says it's not going to be a whole lot of scoring. Let's go around the horn here. We'll start off with Gio. We're going to end with Trey because this is Trey's team. Gio, this game right here, Cowboys and Panthers, what fantasy value are you giving everybody on this game?
Well, Cowboys, you're going to start Lamb. You're going to start the other guy. What's Amari Cooper, Zeke, Dak Prescott. Carolina's defense is good. I mean, they are, I think, a lot better this season, obviously, than they were the year before. And for Carolina, Hubbard, sure. I mean, if you picked him up this week, if you spent some fat budget on him, you're obviously going to go out there and get him and start him this week. But be very wary. I think if Dallas is up big, Carolina will maybe have to throw the ball. But you know what? Since every week I pick an upset, I got the Carolina Panthers upsetting the Dallas Cowboys this week.
Panthers upsetting the Cowboys. Okay. I can't deny that. But yeah, you did pick up Chuba Hubbard for obvious reasons. Will Haverland, the fantasy value you've got for this game right here?
I mean, I think everyone's said everyone. I just think Zeke's not going to have the game. I think if Zeke has a game, it's going to be because of his buddy Pollard. I think Pollard is the key to running the ball for Dallas. I said that a couple of weeks ago. Trey, I called it when he had that huge game for them to win whoever they played 2 weeks ago. I said that was going to be the reason why they'd win. He had, 100 yards, something like that. I don't think he's going to have that this week, but I think he's going to have a lot. He's going to help out Zeke. I just think Pollard's the one that helps the running game get going. He may not be the flashy guy. I got him starting in one league, just because I think he has way more upside, plus the catching the ball and his change of speed. I think Chuba is going to be a factor. I think there's a reason why they drafted him where they drafted him. He's a lot like CMC, just in case he got down. I mean, I think that was the whole intention of drafting this guy when they let Mike Davis go. He's very similar. He's a great runner at Oklahoma State. They used him in the passing game. They used him everywhere. I'm hoping Robbie Anderson learn how to look at him. They know he's on still. I mean, I don't know if Sam Darnold knows who he is anymore. Maybe he needs to change his hairstyle so he can find him. I think DJ Moore is going to have a good game. And I think Prescott's probably going to have a normal 350-yard game, 3-4 touchdowns.
So you're going high on Prescott. Yeah. I mean, Prescott would be a good play today. I think so. I mean, I like Prescott's play today. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to be a lot of high scoring affair. I don't know if he's going to get a lot of touchdowns, but I think the yardage will be there. Trey, you're the last man on the docket here. Cowboys, Panthers. Please give me some Panther talk, not just Cowboy talk.
I'll give you some Panther talk. I disagree with Will. I think that DJ Moore is not going to have a good game. I think Diggs has solidified himself as one of the best corners in this league. You saw what he did last week against the Eagles, and not only the Eagles, he did a pretty decent job with against the Chargers and the Buccaneers as well. This guy's getting better and better each week. I think that he has solidified himself as probably one of the top 10 cornerbacks in this league. I think he might have a big day against DJ Moore in the one-on-one coverage. He just feels more confident right now than anything. Anderson might have a good game as well. I think he might have a good game. But like y'all said, I think Hubbard's a great running back. I saw a lot of him play. I think Hubbard is a great play for fantasy-wise. I think he's going to have a big game. I don't know. I can trust that defensive line. I don't know if they're just playing well or it's just because they played the Eagles last week or whatever the case may be. I just don't trust this defense. I like Michael Parsons, but he ain't the whole team. Can you trust Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch to keep up what they're doing? Because last year they looked horrendous, but this year they started to look like a little ball. But this is going to be the game that's going to show a lot about what the Dallas Cowboys are and what the Carolina Panthers are. Because for Carolina Panthers, look, I mean, yeah, they beat the Saints, but that's Jameis Winston, and he's wildly inconsistent. They play the Houston Texans, who didn't have a quarterback for all intents and purposes because of Taylor's injury. And then, of course, the Jets, I think Zach Wilson's a bust, but I'm the only one on this panel that believes that, and I'm sticking with that. But I think, and then the Dallas Cowboys, yeah, they let one slip against the Buccaneers. Then you go and then you beat I know a lot of people say the referees helped the Dallas Cowboys out in that game or whatever, but whatever the case may be, there was still those were fouls. I'm sorry, but they were. But you can also go back to the Dallas Cowboys, and you can say that they got screwed off a pass interference call too at the end of that game. So refereeing has not been good anywhere in any league at any point of the season, even in high school football. Everything is horrible with the officiating right now. I don't understand all what's going on with the officiating, but I think it's going to tell a lot about which team is going to. We're going to find out a lot about both these teams and where they actually stand. And yes, a lot of people are buying into the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not buying into the Dallas because I've seen this record of this before. I've seen them go 13-3 and then lay an egg against the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs. And then Carolina, like I said, they haven't played anybody. I just want to see. Now they're playing a good team in Dallas. Now, are the Dallas Cowboys going to be up for this game? Or because it is kind of a short week for them, and they played a rival last week? Are they going to be a little down start off the game? Are they going to be riding their coattail fast because everyone is jumping on this bandwagon of the Dallas Cowboys in this offense? This offense can carry this. If Dak Prescott has a good game, Dak Prescott's playing a good. I would play CeeDee Lamb. I would play Amari Cooper. I would play Tony Pollard over Zeke today. I know I said yes, but now I'm kind of thinking Tony Pollard is what makes this running game go. Like Will said. I never wanted to sign Zeke. I never wanted Zeke to get that contract. I think Tony Pollard was a great option for especially what the Dallas Cowboys want to do. You can use them in so many different ways, but Zeke does a good job of the blitz packaging and picking up the blitzes and stuff like that. But it looked like Zeke got back on track because Tony Pollard had a good game. It looked like it kind of pissed him off a little bit, and it looks like he's going to be motivated to get better and better. He gets better and better as the season goes along, as long as Dak Prescott's in there. But I just believe, I know for a fact that this is going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout one way or another. Carolina Panthers, I don't know if they're good, but they are fast. That is a fast defense. And so it's going to be interesting to see how they're keeping up with CeeDee Lamb and all that. So, but I think that the Dallas Cowboys do win this game off Greg the Leg. I think he kicks a game-winning field goal from 37 yards instead of 56 yards and wins the game today.
Cool. There you go. Trey Collis with the Cowboy minute there because he's the only Cowboy fan here.
Well,
I know a lot of us don't care.
I know a lot of y'all don't, but there's a lot of the listeners who that are Cowboy fans.
Whoop-de-doo!
You know what?
We know.
Shut up, Gio.
Whoop-de-doo! How about that, Cowboys?
You know what?
I thought you don't have to be a good defense. You just need to be an efficient defense. I thought that's what the Cowboys
America's
model
team,
is.
right? I mean, it's America's team. Everybody loves the Cowboys.
All I know is, Gio, if the Cowboys happen to win the Super Bowl in the next couple years, you haven't seen Dallas Cowboy fans yet. Y'all haven't. I mean, y'all think we're bad now. Just wait till we win the Super Bowl. If we win. I'm not saying we are.
That's why it'll never happen.
What? Dude, they have a chance this year. They have a chance.
That's why Ohio State will never win the national
championship
because they're fans.
I'm a realist. I'm not one of these people who think. Did I not say before my monologue right there? Did I say, yeah, I'm not one of these people who are jumping on this back because I've seen the script before. Am I the one? I'm a realist here. I'm not saying. I said if they do, the Cowboy fans are going to be.
I'm talking about all your listeners. I haven't seen them yet. I don't want to see them. There's a reason why they don't win because they're
I mean,
fans.
listen, I'm glad I don't live in Texas. I'm sure there's Cowboy fans here in Chicago, but if they were ever win, kudos. But
there is one of my friends that lives there. Actually, Will knows him too.
Well, no, there's a big
Chicago.
Cowboy following everywhere you go.
Yeah, there's a big Cowboy following here, nonetheless. But
and all I know is it's going to be a stressful day for me because I got the Cowboy game, and then my Yankees are going to have to win today.
Let's go Rays. Let's go Rays or the Orioles, whatever. Give me the combination of the two.
Oh, God.
And we got a play-in game.
Stressful day. And then it's going to be a stressful week because we got the rivalry. I mean, dude, it's a great time to be a sports fan. That's all I got to say. Oh, playoffs
This is
start.
probably the best. This is probably the best year. Well, besides the Duke Blue Devils, but the best year when it comes to all three major football and NFL. I mean, your Giants are doing good there, Rudy.
Oh yeah, we're World Series champs, and I'm gonna have to start getting the dump button ready whenever you say that.
Cardinals have been pretty hot, man. They are the Dodgers. They're gonna end up playing the Cardinals, right, in that first.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Cardinals are hot right now. So the Dodgers. I mean, who would have thought a team that wins over 100 games would be a wild card team? But
what happened a couple years ago with the Yankees and the Astros? Yeah. Both those people were 100 games and they were in the wild card. I mean, it's just
the Astros and the White Sox look like that's going to be a good first round series.
Yeah, but if I'm the Yankees, I don't know if I want to get in the playoffs because if you do get in and you win that wild card game, guess who you're facing?
Well, you know, Seattle has played well against the Rays this year. They actually swept them once. Not saying Seattle's going to have a magical carpet ride, but if they can get in, who knows, right?
All I know is this baseball postseason, and it's kind of weird. The past couple of years, the postseason in baseball has been really good. This one just seems to be really, really good.
I'm on record as saying that Major League Baseball is the best postseason. Because every pitch matters. I love baseball postseason. I just hate the 162 games a year. I mean, it's just like
the NBA playoffs, especially those first few rounds.
It's pointless. It's dumb.
The NFL playoffs are good too. I mean, but
yes,
as someone's team who hasn't been in the playoffs for over 20 years, I haven't really felt the energy of seeing my team in the postseason in a long time. But it'll be great to get in.
At least you guys experienced Super Bowl wins. I mean, can't say
you're close.
Yeah. Well,
there's only one Super Bowl. Most recent, Rudy.
Oh, why you got to
but
at least I've seen my team win the Super Bowl.
Cowboys were in the Super Bowl when I was like, what, 5, 6 years old?
Yeah, but
I'm the 16-year-old kid that sees the Playboy issue on the rack, but it's all covered in black, so I can't.
Rudy was probably what? Rudy was 15 maybe when he saw the Cowboys win?
Yeah, I was. What was it? 93 was the last one.
Oh, 95.
95.
96.
95. So I was in high school. So yeah, about 14, 15 years old. That's terrible.
Yeah, I was 10.
How did Jerry fire? How did he fire his coach, man?
Well, as you see now, I think he regrets it because now he's like all lovey-dovey Jimmy Johnson, right? Like he's in the Ring of Honor. He's all
because he would disrespect Jerry Jones a lot.
That's the thing,
dude. I'm the one who's coaching. You know, not you, Jerry, but Jerry wants to have his post conferences and all this stuff going on.
He has his own radio show. Tell me another owner that has his own freaking radio show and is in the meetings and cutting players.
Me?
But I mean, they did get a Super Bowl with good old Barry Switzer there. So that wasn't Barry's team, but hey,
that was Jerry.
That doesn't even count.
Wait, but Barry did get them. He was more relaxed probably than Jimmy, I'm pretty sure.
He was a yes man. What do you expect?
Of course he was more relaxed. All he had to do was come in, clock in, and clock out. He didn't even have to coach that team.
No.
Hey, but Barry, he did get him. He did win a Super Bowl under his watch. So
Ray Charles could have led that team to the Super Bowl. I mean,
how many championships did Barry win at Oklahoma? Was it a few? Or did he win any at Oklahoma? I gotta believe he's won. I think he won one, right?
Him and those two both won one,
maybe two.
I know he won one, but I don't know if it was.
I don't remember how many won. But hey, Jerry's ego got in the way, and he did what Al Davis probably would have done. Fire.
The only guarantees in life are taxes, death, the Falcons losing in the Super Bowl, and that we will join you every single week on Wednesdays and Sundays for the Sweep the League podcast and the Fantasy Countdown. So we are out of time. We've been out of time for a little bit till my knuckleheads decided to go on a rant of everything between Barry Switzer, of all people, to MLB playoffs. But that's what we.
This is why we start the show at 9.
We love. Yeah, we started at 9 now.
So we don't go past.
We didn't even cover that day in MLB.
Yeah, we didn't even cover MLB Wednesday, so we got it in today at the Fantasy Countdown. So. All right, guys. So for the United Collision Care Center, proud sponsors of all of our shows here at the Super League Network, Project Spurs powers us, DraftKings, Buster.com. For Coach Gio, Will Haverland, Trey Collis, Rudy Campos Jr., we are hoping you enjoy your NFL Sunday and your MLB Sunday as well. The Spurs do play tomorrow, so NBA season does kick off tomorrow as well, preseason at that. But to give people a small heads up, there will be a couple of changes here at the Sweep the League podcast side. Definitely let everybody know what's going on here. So until we get all that situated and ready to go, for myself, Trey, Gio, and Will, we'll see y'all on Wednesday night, which I think is the last night we're going to be going at 9 o'clock because my school – Christian school suspension or whatever it is coming off the dial this week. So I think I have this week and that's it. But we'll see. Either way, we'll see y'all Wednesday night, guys. Everybody have a great football Sunday.